What's going on? It's Bree for Boston Banner Bound and Celtics Corner. We are recapping what we just saw on our television, and if you didn't watch it, I will give you my reaction to the Celtics at Raptors. So I'm just going to recap it the way that I do my recaps. Hopefully you enjoy it. Today just wasn't a good day, okay? From when we woke up and saw that Rob's injury is a pretty long-term situation, prayers up to Rob, to going into overtime in Toronto after playing the night before against the Timberwolves. Let's just say it's a very bipolar situation, a very high of yesterday and a very low of today. So lost this game 115 to 112. Going into the game, the Celtics were 47-28. They were on a 6-game win streak, and they just clinched the first seed in the East. The Raptors were 42-32. They were on a 2-game win streak. They were also doing pretty well as of late, winning a lot of their games, and they were the 6th seed. So again, Celtics were on a traveling back-to-back. Key thing to take away here is they were down 4 out of their 5 starters. So we're talking bench talk, people. Jalen and Jason, they were both out. We think that it's more for rest purposes, not so much that they're actually hurt. They're just, kind of load management on them, which is fair. I'm okay with doing that rarely, but I'm okay with doing that in this case. Al Horford out with personal reasons for the 2nd game in a row. Well wishes to him. Not quite sure what's going on there. Obviously, as we all know, our hearts were broken today with the news that Rob Williams is out pretty much indefinitely with the knee meniscus tear. So, yeah. Also, a key thing is the night before, right? So they were taking on the Timberwolves at home, and both the Jays were listed as probable before that game. So the fact that they did not play tonight, that was kind of like a clear no-brainer. Like the fact that they were listed as probable yesterday and ended up playing, didn't expect them to play on a back-to-back, especially if the mindset is make sure they're fully rested and healthy for a playoff run. So I expected that. However, what I didn't expect is that the Raptors injury report would drastically change in a matter of hours. So according to my injury report, before this game, Van Vliet was listed as questionable and Trent Jr. was listed as out, but both of them played tonight. So that was a turn of events. Honestly, they started off hot. I was pretty impressed. Smart hits his first three of the game. Tice actually got a call, someone fouled Tice and he actually got a call. I was like, okay, this is looking good. This is positive. Tice looked really good, honestly. Even a tech was called on Nick Nurse early in the first quarter. He was not happy. Nick Nurse was fucking fuming. He was pissed. 16-7 start for Boston. They were up by 11 with 8 minutes left in the first quarter, and I believe that was the largest lead of the night. So very close game from start to finish. Like I said, they were only leading by 11, not by much. Not for long, I mean. So I wrote down too many white boys on the court for my liking. So much bench. Too many people that you don't really see play getting minutes. But you know what? They made the best of it. They actually pleasantly surprised me. It was higher scoring than I thought. I thought that it was going to be a very low scoring game. I did not expect it to get into the triple digits. I also didn't expect it to go into overtime at all. I wrote, Raptors turned up the defensive effort in the second quarter and slowed down the Celtics scoring. I noted that Smart got a technical foul as well. So he was doing a good job at this point of weaving through people, going to the rim, and he finished. It was a nice circus shot looking finish at the rim, and he yelled, and from what I thought, he was just like celebrating because he was happy about it. But Scal said that he yelled and one and clapped at the ref and wanted the and one foul call. And that got him a technical foul. And he said, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. That's me. That's me. And then immediately right after that possession, like the next possession, he got an and one call. So his efforts, the heart and soul of the team, being that team leader on the floor and on the bench for the Celtics, Marcus Smart, obviously, as we already knew, heart and soul, that he would step up there in the absence of the Jays and of Al. It was a tie game, 4 minutes left in the half. Raptors take the lead 50-47 with 3 minutes left. All right, so at halftime, Raptors were up 1 at half due to unfortunate turnovers, and that was kind of the issue. Turnovers. Just seemed like this squad couldn't really handle the ball well. And is that to anyone's surprise? No, because they don't get a lot of minutes, especially not working together. The people that were on the court don't really play together, and they don't really play, period. So it was just very, like, sporadic and kind of chaotic, and they did play really well. Like, they left their heart on the floor for sure. They were diving for loose balls. They had so many, like, there was a lot of effort. I'll just say that. A lot of effort. Sometimes they were successful. Other times they were not. They definitely had an issue with turning the ball over. That was very clear. If you were watching the game, that was very frustrating. So yeah, Raptors took a 1-point lead at the half, 59-58. Siakam had 25 points at the half and Smart had 18 points. So obviously Siakam being that guy for the Raptors, like I said in our pregame show, no surprise there. So I wrote down, Celtics had 11 turnovers to the Raptors 5 at the half. Celtics were actually doing better at 3 than the Raptors. They were shooting 36.8% from 3, while the Raptors were only shooting 27.3. This is at half. 81.8% from free throws for the Celtics, and the Raptors were only shooting 50% from the free throw line. The Raptors were better at field goal percentage. They were 57.8, while the Celtics only had 48.8. Celtics were out-rebounding them 24-18. However, the Raptors had 16 points in fast break points to only the Celtics 3. So at half, the Celtics were kind of beating them in all of the categories for team stats. But like I said, with the unfortunate turnovers, the 11 turnovers, that caused some problems, and that's why they were down 1 going into the third quarter. Celtics started off hot. They got a 7-point lead real quick in the third quarter, but then the Raptors take the lead again. So Celtics were battling, like I said, reckless effort, just diving all over the floor. They didn't give a shit. I wrote, I can do without all the 3-point attempts by Smart. I love his confidence, but he can drive more to the basket without settling for a deep 3 ball. So obviously, we said at the beginning for the pre-show game that he was going to get the green light to take as many shots as he wanted. I just wanted him to be a little bit more selective, and I wanted him to drive more to the rim, because when he did drive to the rim, he was very successful. I just felt towards the end of the game, he was throwing up like way too many threes and could have been more productive with that possession, or those possessions. He could have done something better than just settling for a 3. So again, very close, tied 80 with early in the fourth quarter. Then the Celtics took a little bit of a lead. Next man up mentality. Then fast forward, Celtics were up by 1 with 3 minutes left in the game. Then they were tied with 2 minutes left in the game. Smart draws an offensive foul on Barnes, and Barnes fouls out. However, Smart only hit 1 of his 2 free throws to put the Celtics only up by 1. Then Nesmith, welcome to basketball. Welcome to the Celtics. He hits a corner dagger 3, put them up 106-102 with 58 seconds left. That was a very big shot, game-changing shot. Honestly, I was holding my breath the whole last minute of play. I literally was dying. We were up 106-104 with 12 seconds left to go. Siakam had 2 free throws. Grant loses the handle right at the end. So he made the right decision, right? He had the ball at the 3-point line. And instead of settling for that shot, he saw that there was time on the clock. So he tried to drive in to go to the basket to get a better shot. in my opinion, it's a better shot if you're going towards the basket. I don't know. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people like shooting threes. I think, when you don't need a three, there's no point to shoot a three. Like, if you just need a two to win, please do that. I think that's a better shot. Honestly, I do. But he just bobbles the ball. I don't know. Everyone was butterfingers today. So many turnovers. That was like the biggest glaring issue for me ever was the turnovers. Just careless ball handling on a lot of the plays. Just cost them the game there, honestly. They go into overtime. 113-110 Raptors lead with 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the overtime. Nesmith had a great steal, but they didn't capitalize on it. Again, I don't know what's going on. Like, they were driving to the rim, but couldn't finish at the rim. Like, really annoying. Grant diving on the loose ball, gets fouled and gets free throws with 51 seconds left. Siakam fouls out on that foul to Grant Williams. Raptors are up by 113-112. And then I don't know what the fuck happened here. Derek White basically almost airballs a layup. Like, he basically was driving to the rim. I don't know if he just misjudged how close he was to the rim, or he just tried to get it off and it front rims, and that's the end of the game. So I don't know. Well, no, sorry, that wasn't the end of the game, because then the Raptors got another possession. Then obviously the Celtics had to foul. They hit their 2 free throws, and then we had 12 or 11 or very short amount of seconds left on the clock. Celtics inbound the ball, and I thought that Ime would call a timeout to advance the ball to the other, you know what I'm saying? Ime had a timeout. He had 1 timeout left. Couldn't tell you why he chose to not call the timeout. Then Smart gets it, throws a 3 up. Then Grant gets it, throws a 3 up. And the game is over. Because again, live and die by the 3. So I'm going to read you the box score really quick, and then we're about to wrap this shit up. Honestly, this is a game that kind of confuses me, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures. And I'm always one to say, if you have multiple people in double figures, you usually win the game. So this is those very off chances where you don't. So Grant, his stat line was 17 points. Nesmith, 13 points. Tice, 13 and 10, double-double. Smart, 28 and 10, double-double. Derek White, 15 and 8, assists and 6 rebounds. Not terrible. Cornette had 6 points. Hauser had 10 points. And Pritchard had 10 points. So again, he didn't really use anybody else. He only had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-man rotation. I can't count, so bear with me. Not quite sure why he didn't give any of the other guys some burn. I thought that Nick Stauskas would play. Maybe give the new 2 guys you signed and brought up some burn. But no, it didn't happen. Obviously, the player of the game was Pascal Siakam. He played 47 minutes and scored 40 points and 13 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Just phenomenal. You see why he's an all-star and all-NBA team guy. Anunoby, 14 points. Barnes, 10 points. So again, that was kind of a letdown because we thought Barnes would do better. Van Vliet, 14. Gary Trent Jr., 12. And then Thaddeus Young, 12 off the bench. And they also used only 8 men as well. So maybe that was just the mindset of both these coaches tonight. But yeah, I also just want to look really quick at the end. Okay, so I already told you what the halftime stats were. So at the end of the game, field goal percentage, Celtics had 41.5%, Raptors had 43.4%, 30% from 3 for the Celtics, 25.6% from 3 for the Raptors. Total turnovers, 18 turnovers for the Celtics to the Raptors, 10. 66 points in the paint for the Raptors to the Celtics, 52. largest lead was Celtics by 11 and Raptors by 3. So it was a very close game. I was surprised that it was as high scoring as it was. I thought that there was going to be lack of scoring because we were down our two biggest scorers, obviously, in the Jays. Yeah. So obviously not a good day today at all. At all. Very upset about how this one ended. Obviously, if you're on a traveling back-to-back and you're down 4 of your 5 starters and you're just using bench players that don't really play together in a normal setting, I'm very impressed with how well they did in the sense of they didn't get blown out. They played hard throughout the whole game and even overtime. So I think what really killed them was the overtime. If they could have just sealed the deal in regulation, I think they could have had it if Grant didn't bobble that ball right there at the end. But I think that just goes to show you, they were just tired and they just couldn't play with perfection down the stretch. And the Raptors were healthier, they were rested, and they woke up at the right time to put the nail in the coffin for the Celtics. And again, it wasn't a blowout. They only won by 3. I take that as a positive. I think the Celtics are going to be okay. The real test is Wednesday. So they come back home and they play the Heat on Wednesday, and then they play the Pacers at home again on Friday, and then they play the Wizards at home again on Sunday. So I'm hoping that them being able to be at home in their own beds, getting to relax a little bit, can be helpful. Seeing their families, all that good stuff. Again, prayers up to Rob. I will be back here at some point breaking down some game, talking about something. Hopefully it's not mad Bree or sad Bree. It's happy Bree. But to be honest, I'm pretty much going to be sad Bree until Rob gets better. He's my guy, and it's a huge loss not being able to have him in the lineup. So it's going to have to be next man mentality, next man up mentality. I can't even speak anymore. This day has been draining. But yeah, so tune in next time. Please subscribe to the Celtics Corner. Please tune in to their amazing pregame shows and their watch parties and everything that they do. Obviously, communicate with me in any way, any topics you want me to talk about, any thoughts that you have, any stats that you want me to know about. I appreciate all the support. Thank you for following, and I will be back with you guys momentarily. Listen, go Seas.